All right, today we're going to dive into how you can build your own B2B digital empire. We're talking about OroMarketplace, and we're going to break down its core structure. Because really, it all boils down to one huge question.
Yeah, that's the big one, isn't it? How do you create this single, massive online space, but at the same time let hundreds of different independent sellers do their own thing inside of it? As you're about to see, this is the exact problem Oro Marketplace was built to solve.
So what is this thing, really? Well, at its heart, OroMarketplace is a tool for B2B that's business-to-business commerce. It's not for just anyone. It's designed for established distributors, big brands, or manufacturers who need a serious platform to sell to other professional businesses. Okay, so to really get our heads around this, here's our game plan. We'll start with a basic model, then we'll define who's who with the operator and seller roles. After that, we'll see how you actually get sellers on board, how you manage the whole ecosystem day to day, and finally, how you can tweak all the little settings to make the marketplace your own. First things first, let's really get the foundational concept down. To understand how the whole platform is put together, it actually helps to think about something from the real world. The absolute best way to picture this is to think of a shopping mall, right? You've got one mall manager who owns the whole building. They set the hours, they make the rules, and they make sure the lights stay on. And then you have all the individual shop owners. They just rent a space, stock their own products, and handle their own customers. That one-to-many relationship, that's the key. Okay, so keeping that mall idea in your head, let's see how it translates into the two main roles you'll find on the platform. Knowing who does what is absolutely crucial to understanding how the whole system works. So on one side, you have the marketplace operator. That's your mall manager. They own the entire digital platform. They provide the space. And on the other side, you have the marketplace sellers. These are your shop owners. They're the actual companies selling stuff, and they're responsible for their own product listings, their own inventory, and their own orders. Now, here's where it gets really smart. The system actually defines these roles through something called organization types. The operator has to be a general type, which basically gives them the keys to the entire kingdom, full unrestricted access to everything. But the sellers, they're a marketplace seller type. This limits what they can see and do, so they can only manage their own shop without peeking into anyone else's business. Okay, so your digital mall is built. It looks great, but it's empty. So how do you get new shops to actually open up for business? Let's talk about the onboarding process. The main way this happens is just beautifully automated. So a potential seller finds your marketplace online, and they fill out a registration form. Instantly, a request pops up in the operator's dashboard. The operator can take a look, and if everything checks out, they just click accept. And here's the magic. The moment they do, bam! This system automatically creates everything that seller needs to get started. Their own organization, a user account, a price list, even a warehouse. It's all done for them. But of course, you're not locked into just that one automated method. Let's say you have a seller you've already talked to, and you want to bring them on. The operator can also do it manually. You can either fill out a request for them, or you can just go straight into the back office and create their new seller organization directly. You've got options. So, your sellers are in. They're set up. Now the real fun begins. The day-to-day management of this living, breathing ecosystem. This is all about who controls what. And this slide right here perfectly shows off the platform's incredible balance. The operator handles the big picture stuff, like the master product catalog that keeps everything organized. But inside that structure, the sellers have a ton of freedom. They set their own prices, they handle their own part of an order, they choose their own shipping methods, and they can even run their own sales and promotions. So you see the theme here. The operator builds the playground, and the sellers get to play in it. Okay, that all sounds great in theory, but let's get practical for a second. How does an operator actually go in and set the rules we've been talking about? How do you put it all into practice? Well, all these controls are tucked away neatly inside the system's organization settings. So as the operator, you just navigate to the user management area, pick the specific seller you want to configure, and then you'll find a whole menu of options just for them. And here are some of the big ones, the really important levers you can pull. The operator can decide whether to even allow public registration, they can choose if sellers are allowed to create their own products, and they can even decide who on their team gets the alert when a new seller applies. It's all about setting the ground rules for how your mall operates. Now listen up, because this is a super important point. See this quote? When it comes to turning on that public seller registration form, that open invitation for anyone to apply, that is a master switch. Only the main global operator organization can flick that switch on or off for the entire marketplace. A single seller can't just decide to open the floodgates themselves. So, if you boil everything we've talked about down to one single idea, this is it. The entire OroMarketplace system is built to find that perfect sweet spot, that perfect balance. It's about empowering your individual sellers with the freedom and the tools they need to succeed, while always making sure the operator has the ultimate control over the platform. And that kind of brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. Now that you understand the structure, the different roles, and all the controls you have, it makes you think, right? If this was your marketplace, what rules would you set? Would you let anyone sign up? Would you let sellers add any product they want? Or would you want to approve every single one? The power is totally in your hands.